Every time.
Okay, baby. Make journeys. Grizz Clippers. Paul George all alone. Maybe a bit of a travel. Just a tiny little bit of a travel.
But welcome back.
Look at that. 1, 2.
Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Who needs rules? Why do we have rules? Who cares? Why have any rules?
There you go. Definitely a travel. Patrick Beverly, not afraid.
He calls it like it is.
Yeah, there you go. He calls a lot of things.
But welcome back, PG.
Just admire it. Look at that.
Admire it for what it is. The
Stay
beauty,
with us to the end, baby.
the majesty,
Come on now.
the travel. Miss overtime. Let's take a look at Magic Nets. Aaron Gordon comes up with a big block. This sealed the win for the Magic.
Okay. Holding on to that A spot we are down in Orlando.
So would you rather, T-Mac, when you're playing, have a game-winning dunk or a game-stealing block?
Give me the game-winning dunk.
Yeah, see? In the end, it's still more fun to dunk.
I want the block.
Why?
Because if a dunk means probably somebody made a mistake, whereas a block, like, that's a heroic play. You're saving a mistake from happening.
You're saving the day.
Yeah.
Swatting away.
Either way, you are the hero.
Yes.
So what?
There you go. This was nice for them and certainly good for the Magic. All right, make bang outs. Let's go back to Staples. Kawhi driving in. Now, he does not travel, kids. Packs it in with the left hand. So, Mac, we were wondering, is he the best lefty dunker since you?
Me? Yeah, I have to give it to him.
Right?
I use my left a lot.
Yeah.
Although I'm a righty.
It's a mean face you just made there.
He was pretty mean when it came to
But you know what's
basketball.
crazy? The reason why I use
Nice
my
to
left
us.
hand
He's mean out
is
there.
because I'm stronger with my left when palming the ball. That's why
How
I
is that
use
possible?
it's just,
You were a right-handed pitcher or left-handed pitcher?
I was right-handed.
See?
But
It's
gripping a
confusing.
basketball, I'm stronger with my left hand.
You're putting me into Ben Simmons territory here. I don't know what to think.
Oh, yeah. I assume we're talking offhand lefty dunkers, because the lefty just won the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meaning.
Just to be clear.
Yes, we are.
Miss Jealousy. Joe Harris gets free in Barclays and nails the wing three. Check out the Nets bench. Right?
That was nice, guys, but, I mean, my Magic guys won the game.
I'm just saying. It was a lot of
just saying.
this. You had the
You know?
Tiger fist pump. Clearly, it's like a thing because they all looked at him.
It's
and
a Joe
did
thing. It's a Joe Harris.
Right?
Yeah.
So, boom.
I think it's good. I like it. I'm all for these synchronized bench celebrations. Let's have fun. It's basketball.
I love the
Hold
Nets
on.
bench and would like them to have a nickname.
They
It
were
really
up
bothers me
almost
that they
20
don't.
at that point. I see why they were
See?
celebrating.
Look,
Okay.
there you go.
I like
All
how
right.
you're really into the race
Okay.
for the 8th seed.
All right.
He's supporting his guys.
I hope they can
Fake
hold off the Bulls.
evacuations.
The
Suns,
Bulls.
Jazz. Look at this. Kelly Oubre dunking on Rudy Gobert last night.
Hey,
Tsunami
Kelly
Poppy.
Oubre has been balling this year. I got to give him some props.
Right?
He has been
put
doing
up
his
some.
thing. Yes.
Look at him.
He ain't dunk on him.
Look at that.
Really? We gonna say he dunked on Rudy right there?
First of all, he's going to hurt
First
his
of all, he
he's
got
gonna-
up and dunked, and Rudy was the one
Now that's
there.
a dunk on.
I'm just worried he's going to hurt his neck snapping it like that in the middle of his
Bodies.
time. I mean, he's getting his
Oubre
whole
got
body in.
bodies this year.
Yeah, well, you know,
He's
he's
a top-
Tsunami Poppy. He does nothing halfway.
Top 5 trash talker in the NBA right now.
Yes, which
He
is
is
funny because
everyone's
we had
favorite.
him on the show, and he's chill in person. He's like so cool. He's got the chains, he's got the whole thing, and then out on the court, he goes.
Yep.
Just saying. All right, it's now time to talk about the up and down Miami Heat. They were as hot as their name would suggest until a few weeks ago. Last night, they dropped a road game in Cleveland after blowing a 22-point lead. They've now lost 6 of their last 8, including games to the Kings, Blazers, Hawks, and now last night the Cavs. Zach, are you starting to worry about the Heat? You, the driver of the bandwagon.
Bandwagon is just proceeding as usual. Nothing wrong with the Heat. I'm not worried about the Heat. Jimmy Butler's missed a couple of these games. They're integrating some new players. I mean, look, the Heat after the trade deadline, I think we're in that mix with Toronto, Boston, Indiana, Philly. There's the bandwagon.
Tough schedule.
And I think that they're probably a little bit behind Toronto and Boston now, but like that's kind of who we thought they were. And when they get Jimmy Butler back, they'll be better and they'll have a chance against those teams.
No, I'm not worried about these guys at all. Number one, they're well coached. They're a disciplined team, and they play hard every night. What happened over the last few games? Well, they added 2 new players, Iguodala and Crowder. Jimmy Butler, like he said, has missed a few of those games, so they're just trying to figure things out. I'm not worried at all. I think they're going to be fine.
I do think teams like this have to win the games they're supposed to win, though, right? If you're a team that's not with the most elite talent and you want to be up there in that conversation for best teams in the East, part of what you have to do is win the games that you're supposed to win, like last night.
It does, like, to your point, though, it does look more and more like we're locked into Philly, Miami in 4-5 in the first, or Miami, Philly 4-5 in the first round. So
I'm not mad at that.
Well, and they're in Milwaukee's bracket, right? That's your punishment
Yeah.
for that, is you're in Milwaukee's bracket.
But
So-
as a fan,
Oh,
Philly,
no.
Miami,
That's
how fun would that be?
That would be very fun.
Very physical series.
There we go. I do feel like we're now at the time of year we can start really talking about matchups
Yeah,
and brackets and
yeah.
stuff like that. And the race for this within some of the both conferences is going to be really good. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit about Jason Tatum because he's really young, but he's already really good at the basketballing. Is he a budding superstar? Are you ready to put that on him? We will break it down next. Nichols still joined here by Zach Lowe, Tracy McGrady, and guys, the Rockets beat the Knicks last night. It was their fourth straight win. They are now 8-2 since going all in on what's smaller than small ball? Micro ball. There you go. T-Mac, are the Rockets proving everyone wrong?
I mean, it looks good right now. I think out of those 8 teams, Utah and Boston are only 2 pretty good teams that they have beaten during this stretch. It looks good right now. James is back playing great basketball. Russ is being efficient. I like it during the regular season. However, in a 7-game series, I don't know. I just think coaches are too smart. I think they have a game plan to negate James's penetration, Russ's penetration, because that's what, if you have a player like James, you have a player like Russ, and then you have 3 shooters spread it out. I mean, when these guys drive, they're banking that you help to kick out to these shooters. So James doesn't have that outlet with Clint Capella lobbing the ball out anymore. So it's going to be very imperative that defenses play solid individual defense to keep the guy in front, because if you let these guys get into the teeth of the defense and you help, I mean, they're surrounded by more shooters now that you know, they don't have Clint Capella out there.
They also beat the Lakers.
Oh, and the Lakers. That was the first game.
Yeah.
And their only 2 losses are a buzzer beater against Utah by Bogdanovich and against Phoenix when Russ did not play.
Yeah.
I don't understand why everyone threw such a tantrum about this. Like, they're breaking basketball. They're just playing the way they've always played with just out of center. I mean, it's the same. James is driving right. It's helped Russ a lot. And, you know, the stats you guys had up there before, it's going exactly according to plan. They're 3rd in offense. They're 12th in defense, which is like good enough.
Right.
Good enough. The one red flag, they're 29th in defensive rebounding, which everyone said was going to hurt them.
But they knew that. They said they were just giving up on it.
And here's how they're making up for it. They're forcing the 2nd most turnovers in the league, and they never turn the ball over themselves. So they're going in like 8 possessions ahead in all of these games. But to Tracy's point, I do wonder, you get to the playoffs, you're no longer catching anyone off guard. You're no longer catching anyone on their 3rd game in 5 nights. They're just going to be dialing in to prepare for you. And I do think there's a diminishing returns. But look, the Rockets are really good. They were really good before, and they're really good now.
I'm not sure. Like, it's not even just catching them off guard. It's not like the teams they're playing now don't know this is what they're doing. But if you're playing 80 games against a different style, shifting everything just for one night, you know, doesn't make as much sense. We're in a playoff series, it does. I worry about PJ Tucker. Just that man is taking a battering, and I hope he can make it through.
I spend no time worrying about PJ Tucker.
Playoff
He's
run.
Indestructible.
I saw him that night after the trade deadline when he was playing here in LA, and I asked him if he was going to keep, like, you know, those pads on the knees, whatever. As a salesman in business, and he said that he had just placed some new orders. So there we go. It should be fine. James Harden is playing well under this. Russell Westbrook is playing well. It's not, though, James playing as well, Tracy, as we thought maybe he would be playing at one point this season. I want to bring back a wager that was made earlier between you two. Let's take a look when it looked like maybe James Harden could cook historically.
And this is crazy that I'm thinking this way. I actually think James Harden might average 40 points this year.
Not with Russ there.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you.
If he averages 40 points a game, and I realize how dangerous this is for me to say, you can pick any restaurant you want. Any restaurant you want, and I'll take you out to dinner.
Okay. Don't be surprised.
I do like Zach's look there. The Rockets now 57 games in, Harden averaging more than 35 a game, but not quite at 40 there. Zach, how do you feel? Tracy, how do you feel?
I don't feel as excited as Tracy is about that lobster. in that picture.
Ladies and gentlemen that are watching this show, I throw in the towel today.
It's over. It's over.
So I walked in yesterday, and Tracy very diplomatically said, "What restaurant do you want me to take you out to dinner?" I said, "No, I'm the moron that made a bet that was one-sided. I could
No
only
stakes.
lose. There
Yes.
was no stakes for you, so you don't have to do anything."
Right.
But it was very diplomatic of you to offer.
I was close in the beginning, right?
it was
You were
averaging-
nervous
it was
a little
like
bit, right?
39
It
at
was
one
like
point.
39.5 you got up to at one point, I think.
yeah.
So this was not out of the realm here.
No.
But again,
Look, I just ordered a salad there. I'm trying to save
money,
save a little money.
right?
I'm offering you some of that lobster. You know what I'm saying?
Not really, though. You're just taking it for yourself. I see how that is. By the way, there's two lobsters on that plate.
I told James during the All-Star game, I said, bro, I should make you pay for the dinner because I had you averaging 40 points. I made a bet on that. So.
I'm going to guess he didn't just step up there with the wallet, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Jason Tatum, let's talk about him because he had himself a great game on Sunday. Dropped 41 points, 5 rebounds versus the Lakers in a loss. Now, he played so well that LeBron even took to Instagram about it. Here is the quote: "That boy to the left of me is an absolute problem. Keep going, young king." All right, so we know Jason Tatum is a star. He had that phenomenal rookie season where we all thought, man, he is about to catch fire. Almost got to the NBA Finals, 7 games against LeBron James, had some great moments in that series. Are we now watching him possibly becoming a legit superstar?
Yes, we are. I think he's making the leap to superstardom, and I don't remember the last time in a season, in the middle of a season, we all sort of collectively witnessed together like, ooh, this guy's figuring it out. It might have been Kawhi in his first year is transitioning to a real superstar. I think that the Jason Tatum we've seen in the last month has a chance to be a top 10, top 5 player in his career, and that changes everything for the Celtics later and even now because now he's kind of forced a hierarchy onto their team. Like they have all these guys who need the ball, this and that, and how's the mix going to be? No. Now they have a number one guy.
Yeah.
He's the number one guy. And that helps, right? In the playoffs, you got to know how it goes.
Yeah, it's in the making.
Yeah.
And what is this, 3rd year? Mm-hmm. It's that time.
time.
It's that time. Before, it took a little bit longer when I was coming out because we didn't get the ball handed to us right away. It took some time. We had to go through a lot. But now these guys coming out rookie season, they're playing 35 minutes, right? So they getting a feel for the game. In his 3rd year, he's blossomed into a superstar. You could just see the confidence over the last month. I went and watched when they played Houston. I mean, this guy was fantastic. The moves that he's doing, the individual, the creativity on the basketball court. You could see he's extremely confident right now. And he's separating himself from the other players on the team to let everybody know he is that number one option and he is that guy. So I need to see it in the playoffs. I don't want to give him superstar right now until I see what he does in the playoffs.
He seems to like the big stage, though, to your point, and always has since he was a rookie. He's a really good defensive player, which I think people were slow to realize. He's a really good defensive player. The next step for him is how good of a passer can he become? Can he become a 5 assists, 6 assists a game kind of guy? Because if he gets that without sacrificing a lot of his scoring, then you have a super duper star.
Yeah.
I give him a lot of credit, too, because last season was not easy. The problems in Boston overall are well documented. But even with him specifically, remember all the noise he was hearing about, man, you're shooting too much, work with Kobe, too much ISO, all the criticism. And obviously he got caught in some of the crossfire with the chemistry issues with Kyrie Irving. And the fact that he was able to have the presence of mind to not let that derail who he thought he was as a player. He knew he was a star. He knew he could continue to develop. And we have seen that. And I give him a lot of credit for that, too, because some young guys, when it's all crashing in on you, it sets them back. And with him, he didn't develop the way we quite wanted him to last season, but clearly has not set him back in any significant way. He is the real deal. And you will see him this Saturday. I love this matchup. Our next NBA Saturday primetime game, the Rockets are heading out to Boston to face the Celtics. Our coverage tips with The Jump. We are your pregame show on ABC, 8 o'clock Eastern. You can also always watch on the app. T-Mac, you going to be there?
I'll be in the building.
Woo! Rockets Celtics. You don't want to miss it. Coming up, Patrick Beverley was back in action for the Clippers last night. We will talk about how important he is to their success right after this break. And here is what The Jump recommends for today. This is on the app. Baxter Holmes has a piece on the intersection of emotion at the Kobe Memorial yesterday. This was such a meaningful event. They did a beautiful job with it, and Baxter does a great job explaining just how it came to be. Check it out during the break.